Anyways, the national championship this year. Notre Dame, Ohio State, in maybe a nightmare national championship for some folks. Both of these teams are very polarizing. You love them or you hate them.
Yep.
Notre Dame going back to Rudy and their kind of prominence in college football. And Ohio State obviously is, at the center of a lot of college football conversations that happen.
Yeah.
Both of these teams on what I would call a drought for one of them. Ohio State last won the national championship in 2014, the inaugural season of the 4-team playoff. They have the chance to yet again win a national championship in the inaugural year of a new playoff format. And then Notre Dame, I believe, has not won since 1988. Correct me if I'm wrong, Drew.
That's correct.
So they have quite a bit of a drought going for them. But this is a game, to me, where I don't have the line in front of me. I do actually. Ohio State is an 8-point favorite. So it's right in front of my face, actually. So I don't know how I missed that.
It's right there.
Actually, it's staring at me. It looks like it's come down 1.5 since it's opened. Ohio State opened as a 9.5-point favorite, and it's come down to 8.
I like 8. That's a good number.
Yeah, I like that. I think Ohio's, in my opinion, I know maybe I'm jumping the gun here, but
no, go ahead.
I think they probably cover. I think they win by 2 or more possessions in this game. Gut feeling, unless I can be convinced otherwise. They're the hot team in college football right now. And with the new playoff format, you have the opportunity to get hot at the end of the season, play your best football. And the regular season doesn't really matter as much. But they are absolutely loaded. Obviously, Notre Dame has looked good up until this point, surviving against Penn State. And then obviously beating Georgia and Indiana en route to the national championship. I will say on Notre Dame's end, if they want a chance to win this game, I think Riley Leonard's going to have to do it through the air, in my opinion. And I don't know. What do y'all think?
He's not shown that he can do that. At least,
and that's what worries me.
Threw for 90 against Georgia.
He actually had like a good amount of yards in the semifinal.
It's not terrible.
I mean,
in that semifinal game in the Orange Bowl, they looked, pretty much had nothing going through the air until towards the end of the half, where Riley Leonard got hurt and their backup quarterback came in and started really moving the ball through the air for the first time and got him in field goal range. And then he had a good enough second half.
Yeah.
In that game.
I
don't know.
I think I'm in the same boat. I don't really think he can do it because the Ohio State secondary, probably pound for pound, the best, if not the second best, secondary in the country this season. At least in my opinion. That's how I feel.
They are
quite the unit.
I would agree. They're one of, if not the best unit.
And probably a top 3 front 7 as well.
Yeah, it's up there.
Minimum.
They had a lot of that defense, kind of reminiscing on last year for Ohio State when they had Kyle McCord. The bright spot of that team was their defense. And if I'm not wrong, a lot of those guys end up coming back to run it back for another season. And that's kind of been a big part of their identity is the defensive side of the ball. They got some guys, and they have guys on the offensive side of the ball too. I don't know, man. Just looking at this from like on paper, by the numbers perspective, I don't really think Notre Dame has much of a chance here. If I'm being honest, I've done my rounds and listened to all the talking heads, and I don't know what everybody else is saying, if that's the consensus or not, but I don't know, man.
How does Notre Dame keep it a game?
That's Ohio State's average margin of victory.
In the playoffs?
Yeah.
Ooh.
How does Notre Dame win?
How do they, you're saying you don't believe, how do they do it?
They're going to have to do the kind of the upset formula we've seen all season. You shorten the game, you possess the ball, you have success on the ground. Riley Leonard's going to have to run his ass off. He's going to have to have like a Haynes King-esque performance against Georgia to win this game. I'm serious. He's going to have to put on a show. Obviously, Jeremiah Love is a very good running back, but Ohio State has a fantastic front seven. They'll load the box. They had to play a perfect game. I don't think they can really afford to turn the ball over much at all. They probably had to force a turnover somewhere in there, shorten the game, run the clock, possess the ball.
So how uneven are we talking here? Are we talking like Alabama Vanderbilt? Are we talking USC?
I'm not saying they're blowing them out of the water. I just think they're going to lose by a couple of touchdowns at least.
Okay, I'm just trying to see,
in my opinion,
because I'm just thinking about like the upset formula, which has been cause a turnover and hold on to the ball and keep it out of, in this case, Jalen Milrow's hands when you're Vanderbilt, and then when you're Florida and Ole Miss, like DJ Lagway have the game of your life, and Jackson Dart pisses it down his leg. So like, I don't know. I was just clarifying which upset formula you were discussing. Okay.
Yeah, kind of like an Alabama Vanderbilt-esque. They're going to need a big play. They're going to need a turnover. They're going to need to play good defense and possess the ball. And keep it out of Will Howard's hands.
We have seen Notre Dame have the capability to bleed the clock when they want to.
Yeah.
I mean, they iced that Sugar Bowl like it was nobody's business.
They did. I give you that.
So frustrating.
That pissed me off.
It's a lot easier to ice a game when you're winning rather than like, I don't know. Like if that is the game plan, chew the clock. Keep the ball out of the most explosive wide receiver core in college football. Keep it out of their hands. Keep it out of one of the best running back duos in college football. Keep it out of their hands. Keep it out of Will Howard's hands, who's proven that he can win in big time moments. Just keep it out of their hands. I get that. But like that also takes patience. Like you can't freak out if you're down 10-0. You need to stick to the game plan. Because if you're down 10-0 and there's 6.5 minutes left in the second quarter, you have got to bleed the clock.
You can't go out throwing and risk a turnover, though.
No, you have got to bleed the clock. And if you're Notre Dame, defer, obviously.
Yeah.
Because hopefully, if you're down 10 midway through the second quarter, bleed the clock, go get you a touchdown or a field goal, and then come out, do the exact same thing in the third quarter. Boom, all of a sudden it's a tie game, roughly. It's a one-possession game going into the fourth quarter, and then that is when you can actually play football. I think that's the formula.
Just kind of, like the boxing reference has been made over and over. Just kind of get to the final round, then it's real. Yeah. Then it's on.
Yes.
Get to the fourth quarter. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Get to the fourth quarter because, you are running into the hottest team in college football, who is also the most athletic team in college football, who is also, love him or hate him in his, postseason record and big time game record, but he is one of the best coaches in college football and has been since 2016 when he took the reins over. Like the man has 19,
something like that, because he coached in that COVID natty against Bama. We're talking about Ryan Day, right?
Yes, talking about Ryan Day. So either way, he just now got to double-digit losses as the head ball coach over at Ohio State. Like, if you can hold on and make them start to feel the noose, it's like, oh shit, we're not winning by 21 points going into the fourth quarter. Are we really about to blow this? And if you can get Ryan Day and Chip Kelly to start to feel that pressure again, and Will Howard to feel that pressure again, like he did at the end of the first Oregon game, then you have a fighter's chance. And I do not mean to discredit what Notre Dame has done to this point. They have been arguably the most, not complimentary football team of the playoff, but just when Riley Leonard's having a bad day, it's when the defense steps up. When the defense is having a bad day, that's when the offense just ignites. But listen, the odds are stacked against you. I am personally rooting for Notre Dame, just because I hate Ohio State. But
I just think Ohio State smells blood in the water. I mean, for stretches of that Notre Dame Penn State game, it just looked like, I mean, with the turnovers, obviously, it looked like nobody wanted to win that game. It just
Yeah.
felt sloppy, disorganized on both sides. So if Notre Dame can go out, focused, execute the game plan, but just be able to run the ball, get stops on defense, get off the field on third down, then I agree. Let's play ball. You got a fighter's chance. But
Yep.
they need to put forth a better effort than they did in that semifinal.
Yep.
Absolutely. Yeah. I
I
agree.
mean, if they can do what they did against Georgia, then yeah, by all
yeah.
means, this is
Oh
going to
yeah,
be
have
a
a
game.
kickoff return touchdown and
Yeah.
have a strip sack fumble that
Yes.
ends up in a touchdown. Yeah.
17 points in a combined 2 minutes of game time is pretty good.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was pretty efficient. Way to swing the momentum. So yes, they need something like that. Honestly, they're gonna have to have a break because on paper this is a game that Ohio State should win.
Yep.
I don't really think there's any way of getting around that. But people said that about them all this season, all last season. Obviously, they came out kind of shit the bed against Michigan, and then what happened against Oregon happened, which was a hell of a ball game. But they have. Obviously the biggest blemish is Michigan.
Yeah.
But the way that they played in the playoffs so far, they've obviously figured something out. Obviously that was a pretty terrible effort in that game at the end of the end of the regular season. But they've seemed to turn a new page. They're gonna have to. Notre Dame's gonna need to face the version of Ohio State that showed up against Michigan.
There's Damn, I was about to have a really good point. About to pat me on the back and say how good of a football knower I am.
So ball.
Yeah, I forgot it.
Analyst. Damn.
Whatever.
R.I.P. That was going to be a clip. I was going to clip
it.
It
was.
on
I know. And it was going to save TikTok. That was exactly what was going to happen.
Joe Biden himself would have seen it and been like, I need to save TikTok.
It's like, you know what, guys?
Would have moved him so deeply.
Yep.
Last act as acting president, I am going to save TikTok because of this guy on this YouTube.
We're bringing this app back.
That's right.
That was a terrible impression, but hey.
That was a terrible impression. Anyway, okay. So with the line,
more about football here.
With the line being 8, I don't think any of us are going to argue whether or not Ohio State's going to win, because it all seems to be the side we're leaning. Is Ohio State going to cover?
Yes.
I don't want them to, but I think they will.
I need some parity. All right, I can't always be the guy who's like, I don't know, Jim.
Yeah, Drew, feel free to play devil's advocate here.
I don't want to play devil's advocate because I feel like Ohio State's going to win by at least 10 points.
I mean, I don't know, man. Going into the national championship, that's not the best thing to be thinking, but I just don't know. I need a good argument for me. Yeah. I need one because I'm not really compelled by anything.
Yeah.
Right.
Also, seeing as how it doesn't seem like we have anything more to add on the national championship, I actually didn't hate the semifinals on a Thursday and a Friday.
Yeah, that's fair.
I hate the principle of it, but the actual viewing experience was not bad.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of feels like Thursday night football. And then you have Friday, so it's better than a Monday, which is the national championship's being played on. So at least you're almost, going into work the next day. It's Friday, last work day of the week.
Like, you know how lit it'd be. And you know how lit it'd be if the Natty was this Friday.
I'd love that.
That'd be awesome because you have the Natty on Friday, and then I'm pretty sure you've got a divisional game or 2 on Saturday, and then another divisional game or 2 on Sunday. Like, that would be another great weekend of football.
Mm-hmm.
But no,
yeah,
we gotta wait till.
But we can't have nice things. It would make a little too much sense for them to do that.
Yeah.
Anyways, I think we're all calling it Ohio State. I mean, if you are here and you're a Notre Dame fan or someone who thinks Notre Dame will win this game, would really love to hear what you have to say. And
We
defend
want to be
yourself.
on your side so
I
bad.
do. I would like to be. I just can't find a good reason to make myself. So if there's anybody that has anything to say about that, let us know what you think. We're here for debate and anything that you want to talk about.